Hello, my name is Sylvain Haon. I am the Senior Director of Strategy at UITP. UITP is the International Association for Public Transport. We are the global professional organization representing public and urban transport stakeholders from across the world. Our organization brings together public transport operators, transit agencies, public transport authorities, as well as the industry, whether the vehicle equipment industry or the IT industry. Well, everybody is trying very hard to spot signals right now, and it's a little bit difficult to find your way around. I would stress one point maybe. It's the acceleration of the deployment of technological solutions, which can help manage some key challenges raised by the crisis, and in particular, everything related to managing the demand. Managing crowds, looking at the level of occupancy of vehicles, coordinating services, schedules to try to smooth the and flatten basically the demand curve. Everything related to this. And whether it's about the information to the citizens or systems and plug-in into systems which are developed to manage public transport services or other types of transport services. I think all these are accelerating. Another point which we will see how it develops is the connection between the spread of the virus, or rather the intensity of the impact of the virus and air pollution, and how these connect to sources of air pollution. This is interesting. It's, I believe, too early to draw too strong conclusions, but there may be an impact on reinforcing policies which are connecting health to other economic activities, and also on the raising awareness of the health impact of some of our activities, including the way we move around, including mobility. I believe this is something interesting to look at. The third, and a true weak signal, in the sense that there's still a lot to understand better about this, is the connection which may emerge in the collective awareness of what a crisis means today. We are living a crisis, we're experiencing a crisis, and at the same time, in the past 2-3 years, we've had a raising awareness of the coming of another crisis, which is a climate crisis. How those two will connect, how those two will deliver new policies, how they will potentially feed each other and support, again, new business, new services, new policies, new behaviors, is something which will be very interesting to watch in the next 6 to 9 months, I would say. First, we have to be a little bit modest here. I am overwhelmed by articles, messages, posts, tweets, which cover this topic, and how behavior will change, and what will be the world after the crisis. We have to try to read signs and to look at trends. What I'm seeing is, again, and I believe that's a key word for understanding the impact of the crisis, an acceleration of some trends. The rise of cycling in many Western countries and other countries, as a matter of fact, is not new, but it seems to be accelerating. The awareness of the importance of mobility and how we move around seems to be increasing. and that should impact behavior. The price of mobility in one way or the other, starting with air travel, but because of the consequences imposed by the crisis, could change. I would add another point on mobility behavior. We should not underestimate the resilience of behaviors and the persistence of behaviors. There were trends, there were an evolution of behaviors that we were observing. In some cities, more use of shared mobility solutions. Definitely an increase of public transport use in many places around the world. Just before the crisis, we were having a record-breaking year in many places, in some cities in the world and elsewhere. We were seeing an increase of on-demand transport. And I think those trends should probably still be taken into account, and they won't disappear completely. I think it's interesting to look at the different type of factors and what can be expected from them. Let's start with the car manufacturers. So some of them have been investing in alternative, let's say, new mobility services, different types of mobilities. It was interesting to see the Agnelli family capital fund investing in the last round of investments in VIA, which closed actually during the pandemic. This is quite interesting to notice. So we'll see how the German manufacturers will continue to move forward in their investment in new mobility. And that will, I think, condition, of course, whether we'll see more or less consolidation. Will they fall back on what is still their core activity, which is selling cars, and be less adventurous, or will they accelerate their anticipation of the evolution of mobility by investing further in systems and services, on mobility systems and services, and in this way be major drivers of the consolidation of the market. Same goes for public transport operators. We can expect public transport on its path to recovering its patronage and its level of ridership to further look into diversifying the services it is involved in. Again, would it do that by accelerating? In this case, will it be a driver of consolidation? Then we have the leading digital platforms in the mobility sector. What will be the impact for them first? Will we see further consolidation? Will Didi acquire, or Uber acquire more smaller new mobility operators? Or will they be threatened by the fragility, if you think about some of them, of their business model because of an increased shortage of capital? I think it would be interesting to see others. I mentioned Didi, in China, Alibaba, WeChat, Google, Amazon. We all expect them to play a role in mobility in the future. Some of them are already quite advanced. Thinking about Alibaba, for instance. I am, again, thinking about Didi in many respects. Will they accelerate, considering the crisis as an opportunity in this sector, or not? That's a third factor of impacting the consolidation. And the fourth one is obviously the availability of venture capital, which may put actually pressure on some startups, on some fairly young companies who don't have a firm or established business model, and we may see them also bought by others. I think it will also deepen very much. The crisis will make the environment tougher. It will create opportunities to have more and more systems deployment accelerated, because they directly offer services helping to solve challenges raised by the crisis. Some others, thinking about some mass operators, as a matter of fact, may have more troubles if they can't quickly show how they can directly help the management of the new situation.